Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Linux Forensics here at Pentester Academy. In this video, I wanted to wrap up our course on Linux Forensics. It's been a long journey. This is video 106, 14 hours into our journey. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about was, where do you go from here? We've learned a lot. How can you further your learning? And also to summarize a little bit what we've learned. So you might notice that I look a little bit different from normal, and there's a reason for that. So I wanted to tell you about something exciting that we have here at Pentester Academy, and that's a new book. So this is our first ever book, and it's on Linux Forensics. And I thought I would tell you a little bit about it, in part because it parallels what we've done in this course to some extent, and also because I think this book could be a good resource for you going forward. A lot of the things that we've learned in this course are easily learned through videos, but it's a little bit hard to look things up with a video. Trying to figure out which of those 106 videos you should be looking at, maybe getting the PowerPoints, etc. So a little bit more about this book. This book is 370 pages long. It's in a large 8.5-inch format. It's over a kilogram, or 2.2 pounds for my fellow Americans. 9,000 plus lines of Python. That's how much Python we've gone over in this course, believe it or not. Better than 800 lines of shell script in this book as well. 216 figures, and that's another reason why we spent a little extra money to have the large 8.5 by 11 format so that you can actually read them. There's a bunch of tables too. I didn't tabulate how many there are. No pun intended there. It's over an 87,000 word book, so it's pretty big. Incidentally, the book looks kind of like this, which is why I'm dressed so smartly today. Anyway, what's in the book? Well, roughly what we covered in this class. So we started out talking about first steps and general principles, how you could build a toolkit, the different phases of investigations, and of course, we from the very start used shell scripting in this course to help us along the way and to save us from doing all the tedious stuff. We then talked about a quick incident response. How do you know very quickly, in a matter of minutes, whether or not there's been an incident? How do you do things like going about mounting known good binaries? And more importantly, how do you minimize the disturbance to your subject system so that you're not walking all over evidence? We also talked about live analysis. Sometimes you have the case where you cannot just take a system down. It's too important, or maybe you're not completely certain that it's been compromised. So we talked a little bit about how you could do live analysis. We also went through how you could create images using various tools. We talked about hardware and software write blocking. Naturally, we had a lot of scripting involved here as well. And we went through how you could mount your images. Again, we used Python to help us, but we also covered the master boot record system for partitioning. And we discussed in detail the new system that is rapidly replacing it, the GUID partition tables, something that is now standard in all 64-bit systems shipped today. We spent a lot of time talking about analyzing mounted images and how you could get all kinds of metadata, how you could build timelines, and do lots of very powerful things very quickly. We talked about how you could find people who are trying to hide their activities, etc. We spent a lot of time on the extended file system. Now in the book, this chapter on the ext4 file system is over 100 pages long. So that's how much we talked about this. And again, this is one of those places where I really feel that a book is much more convenient to look up tables, etc. in this nice large format book versus trying to dig this out of your notes from our 14 hours in this course. We also covered memory analysis in this course. We talked about volatility, how you could make profiles easily. We talked about what works and what doesn't work in volatility. We also went through our more advanced attack scenario. And we went through all of the same steps as we did with our simpler scenario from earlier in this course. And finally, we talked about malware. We went through how do you identify malware. We talked about analyzing suspected malware, starting with static analysis, disassembly, and then we talked about safely performing dynamic analysis, how you want to use sandboxes, and then tools like strace, ltrace, and GDB. We also talked about obfuscation techniques. So we covered a lot in this course. Now in the book, I talk about the road ahead, some next steps. And a big part of that is becoming part of a community. This is something, congratulations, you're already part of a community. You're part of our Pentester Academy community. Not saying you can't join other communities too. We're not like that. We like people to be involved in many different communities. Naturally, congregating with others in conferences and such is a good thing. And certification is also a good thing. So 2 of these 3 things you certainly can do here at Pentester Academy. So if you did want to pick up a copy of our book, you can go to pentesteracademy.com. You can also go to Linux Forensics book, which is the support website for the book. I'm pretty excited about this release. It was actually released globally just yesterday. We had a limited release at DEF CON 23, and now it is available to the world. As always, we appreciate your feedback on this course and other courses that we have at Pentester Academy. We would love to hear from you, maybe get some suggestions, what you liked about this course, what you would like to see more of in some future courses, and feel free to suggest other courses as well. We did a little bit of a survey at DEF CON 23 this summer, and we did get some good responses from people as far as courses they'd like to see in the future. By way of warning, you might see some additional forensics courses here at Pentester Academy, so feel free to share with us your ideas and desires for those courses. I just wanted to say once again that I've really enjoyed doing this course here at Pentester Academy, and I hope that you've enjoyed the course as well, and you've learned some things that you can apply going forward. We'll see you around.